Okay, so we're doing priming today. We're doing some of these models I got off eBay. And you're right, I'm not going to strip them first. Just going to shoot the primer right over them. So for these, I'm using the Rust-Oleum Classic 2X Flat Black Primer. For the Death Guard that I've been doing, I've been using the Flat White. Same brand, same everything, lays down completely different. So what I'm going to do is I'll prime these guys up first, and then when I'm done, we'll talk about the difference between the two. Because even though it's the same company, same brand, pretty much the same everything, the way they lay out and the way the coverage is going to be on these models is going to be totally different. And then we can go into and talk a little bit about how the Citadel primers I have, like the Death Guard green I've used on some of the Poxwalkers and some of the other colors, again, lays down entirely different. Now those are acrylic as opposed to what these are, which is not, but again, applications are going to be different, so you can't use the same methods for everything that you do. So I'm going to prime these up, and then I'll show you how it looks afterward. Okay, so the priming's done on the Chaos Marines using the flat black. Okay, so here's the difference. All right, if you look at these guys a little closer, see if you can see them. Now, if you look at these guys, they are flat black. Exactly what it says, right? Totally flat black. There's no shine, no sheen, nothing to these. Now, let's look at the 2X flat white on the Death Guard model. Can you see the difference there? It's hard to pick out on the camera, but really the difference is there's a shine and a sheen to the flat white. And again, it says it's flat. You wouldn't think there'd be any of that, but with the white there is. And the same thing happens with the gray, so be aware of that if you're using the gray primer. Both the gray and the white both lay down super heavy comparatively to the black. So if you're going to be using the white, just understand when you're spraying, you might want to start off to the side of the model and move across it in that kind of motion to get it to lay down a little bit proper. Otherwise you're going to get globs and you're going to get some of the details clogged up. Whereas with the black, I'm not saying it can be sloppy, but for whatever reason it just lays down a lot smoother. Again, it's hard to see, and I got a ton of paint on my fingers, but it's hard to see. But even with a couple passes, I'm not clogging up the details, and I think I did, you know, 2 or 3 good passes on each side just to get the coverage that I was looking for. So that's just a quick note on primer, and I'll be doing a little more later today talking about how we do the marble effect on the Custodes bases. All right, talk to you later.